Good morning. Back for another chess game. I know it's been a while since I've been able to play, at least a longer time control. We get an e4 game. It's like Azerbaijan against a new opponent. We get a c3. We take advantage of this queen position because the knight can't come out. And I like to let that just kind of hang. I don't want to take. I don't know. I mean, I'm sure it's playable to take and bring white into an IQP position, but as black, I'm kind of, I don't know, more on the back foot, defensive, trying to keep this IQP blockaded. And I want to play more actively, so I am going to let him figure out this pawn structure, and I'm going to just develop pieces. In Blitz, I like to develop the queen side and get castled queen side. But in longer time controls, this is pretty exposed position over here with the king on c8, so I'm going to go ahead and develop the king side. Protect my queen. Just see what happens here. That does let me get my bishop developed before pushing e6. So I'm going to take advantage of that. Now with this pawn defended, you might be having ideas of pushing c4. Oh, what's that all about? h4. Did he slip and intend to push h3? h4, h5. That feels like a slip. I don't know. I could be there to support the knight coming into g5. I'm going to castle into it, but this doesn't seem as ominous without the rook behind it. Opponents offered a draw. I suspect it was a mouse slip at this point then. Typically, I wouldn't see a draw offer right here in this position. And I treat draw offers online the same as I do on over the board play. Uh, I want to see a move. Because I don't know what your plan is here. I feel like playing on. I typically would just play on, but don't offer me a draw until you make a move. There's still plenty of play left in this position. I doubt I will accept this draw. Lots of life. White still has problems figuring out what to do over here on the queen side. Um, Developing the bishop seems reasonable. I develop my knight. He gets his knight out to d2. I mean, there's play here, and it's a game of chess. Certainly going to be a lot of downtime in this video of us waiting each other out, really. Don't know if I'll end up posting that or not. He's waiting for a response from me, and I'm waiting for him to make a move. Um, okay, so he's moved. And pawn takes. Okay. So pawn takes. If queen takes, bishop e3, queen h5. I want to keep my queens on board. So there's a 3-on-2 for white on the queen side. But I like my piece activity. Maybe rather than attacking the queen, just moving the knight to trade off this. But then maybe I come queen h5 anyway and threaten this pawn. Bishop takes, knight takes. Pawn here. Knight comes back. Now this pawn would be hanging. Other option is to take the bishop. Queen here. Maybe bishop here. And that protects the pawn, threatens to remove the defender. That spells bad news bears for me, I think. I'd have to trade, take bishop, queen takes, queen takes. I'm gonna trade the light square bishops and look at developing this knight or getting the rook to the d file. I develop the knight, and he goes bishop e3. Hmm. Maybe I drop the queen back first. Put some pressure on b2. The queen's protecting it now, though. So that doesn't stop bishop e3. Does allow me to get my bishop in between the queen, though. The queen and the bishop. Really like my queen on this fifth rank, though. Lots of scope there. Another idea might just be to develop the knight. And keep the bishop out of e3. Yeah, let's do that. Okay. Now, I was thinking about taking that. If Tace takes, it leaves this bishop undefended, but there's no good discovers. I could attack the queen, but he simply moves the queen to defend the pawn. And attack the knight. And I can't lift the pawn because that hangs the e6 pawn. So be a knight's game, and on a fairly open board, I can take back. I could ignore it. Just develop my knight. It seems the most prudent. Let's get another piece developed. Two knights and the queen protecting it. Knight takes. I have a choice of pawn takes or queen takes. I'm going to take with the queen. Now I still have the knight here, and I can reposition it over here. Okay. Developing the knight, looking at these two and this. I'm interested in bringing it back to look at this square. Coming here attacks the pawn, but it's easily defended with the knight or the pawn. He does it with the knight, though. That takes away the square from the queen here. And with my knight here, if the knight were here, I'd have this attack. It isn't a lot, because the knight blocks the queen. I can't sack the knight. King takes, because then the king protects the knight also. So that doesn't look like it works out. Could slide over and attack the weak pawn, but moving the knight just protects it. And if the queen's on b6, it attacks the queen also. Other ideas might be to take control of the open file. Attack. Rook over. Probably the other rook. Over. Lift the rook. Knight here. Maybe thinking about some tricks here. Hmm. I think I'm gonna shoot for control of the file. But which rook? I'm gonna go rook f to d8. And see which direction he wants to go with that knight. I'm down to 5 minutes, 53 seconds. So after he either brings a rook or moves the knight, I think my choices are lift the rook, move the knight, and the knight does, it provokes an immediate response. He's got to do something about the pawn, which is either protect with the queen or the G pawn or the knight, or move it forward. Moving it forward just does not seem reasonable. So maybe it is. Maybe putting it on H5 is okay with the queen here protecting it. He slides his rook over. Where do I want my knight? Oh, this is a double attack. This pawn and this pawn. So I don't see why not. Let's double attack and pick up one of these pawns. Now this protects this pawn and threatens this pawn. So if queen to E4, queen takes A2, queen takes B7, rook B8. Nope, the knight's hanging. I gotta move that. So queen takes, queen takes. Knight F5, knight F3, rook B8. I'm gonna take it. The rook ever comes back here to attack the queen, then I've got a retreat back to the D file. Now I need to create some lift for the king, I think, because if I just attack the queen, he takes, I take back. Maybe just a wasted tempo. So Also got the knight coming here. So h6, knight e5. Knight here doesn't help because takes, takes, takes. Hmm. There is this push, f6 to keep the knight out of both squares, which I may have to do. Yes, f6. Queen's protecting here. Okay. Might need to attack the queen here and waste the tempo. Take back with this rook just to have control of the file. Then I can bring my queen back to protect the rook, should it be attacked. Yeah, I'm going to drive this queen out. Oh, well, about this move here. Suppose then I could slide this rook over and attack again. Two minutes and 40 seconds. And I think white's position is a bit better. I'm going to attack this weakness here. This might be a good square for the queen. And maybe it gets attacked. It hangs this pawn as well. I don't have a lot of time to think. Let's just push the pawn. Yeah, this knight is undefended and hanging, but it has the retreat square. I can bring my queen all the way back to keep the pawn defended, and it keeps the knight out of the square. So I got this square for the knight attacking the queen. Kind of mis-evaluated the double attack that the queen had here. Okay. I think my ideas are kind of limited. If I can get my king to the middle, the rook over here, the rook on the second. This passer becomes my worry. So he's attacked to the knight, which is undefended, and I'm going to bring the knight back to attack the queen. Reposition to this square, maybe. Maybe I advance my pawn first. So I'm not defended there. I don't have too much time to think about it. I think that's a great position for my knight. I am attacking here. Queen's defending. So he's not, it's not necessary for him to push yet, but it is an option. I'm looking at this square though. Maybe trying to come in here at the right moment. If he doesn't drive the knight out, maybe I can bring the queen in. Check here, pin, check, king here, queen takes pawn. Gonna attack the rook. And then I'm probably gonna bring the queen in to d5. Opponent's under a minute now as well, so we're both feeling the time pressure. Gonna spend a whole lot of time. He can't pin me because I've got a check, and I would win the rook. And that's game. Time pressure. It was a very drawish game. He had the end game advantage with these two connected pawns over here. One of them's a passer, but that knight was just too poorly placed. Good game. Good game, friend. Let's look at a review. 95.6% accuracy with one mistake, no blunders. It was only a 30 move game. I played that at 2600. It was fairly drawish line. I mean, those are pretty simple to play. It was very drawish throughout, according to the graph, until the opponent blundered at the end. So this is all book. My first move out of book on move 7. Still a good move. I'm curious what the book line is. Best to take. Just take in the middle. I can see that. I can definitely see that. Or take with the knight. We still end up with a 3-on-2 or an IQP. But I don't think if I'm white here, I go into the isolated queen pawn. I leave the 3-on-2 and deal with my piece development. So that was a mistake. That was a mistake, and that's when my opponent offered the draw. And I knew it felt like a weird move, but there's still play here. It's not like he has a losing position. He gave me a half a pawn edge on the eval bar. It goes from 0.3 for white to 0.5 for black. Castling was good. Takes. Okay. Steady than you. Giving up a little advantage. It's just a dead equal game. Let me go back a little bit to when I have an edge. I have a 0.5 edge here. What is my better option? I played bishop takes, which is good, but it loses some advantage. And I was tinkering with the idea of queen over here. Let's see if that. Oh, no. Oh, no. Not mean to do that. Okay. So I played bishop here. Queen. My best move would have been to bring the queen over. Okay. I'm attacking the undefended piece. But then I was wondering about this move. I think that's a decent reply. In fact, that looks like a very good reply. I don't know what I'm doing if bishop g5. Am I just taking the bishop? Let's head over to analysis and see what Stockfish says. Queen h5 is best. But now it gives white an edge of 0.2. In this position, black has an edge, and as soon as black plays what the engine is calling the best move, it's giving an edge to white. So that's why you don't always completely trust the engines, particularly on low depths and like quick analysis like this. So I didn't play that. I played bishop takes, queen takes, knight to the middle of the board. And this position is just a dead draw. It's completely equal. But there's endgame opportunity. There's asymmetry. So it's not really easy for white to win. Black can hold this, definitely. But there's something to play for, in my opinion. That was the best move. The double attack was the best move. Okay. And it calls that good. The best is maybe taking, just take the queen in a dead equal position. I don't like to. I mean, if you're going to trade the queens, I think you're basically accepting the draw at this point. But this is more asymmetry. This does give a slight edge to white. Kind of heightens his queenside advantage, becomes a 2-on-1. That was a mistake. There was my mistake. He has a full pawn advantage here after this move. I didn't see a better way to keep the knight out of both of these squares. So we're going to retry this and see what our better idea is. Well, it has to be to. What does it have to? It doesn't have to be anything. How do I? Maybe I attack the queen. Maybe I do just go for attacking the queen. Inaccurate. Bring the queen back. Keep it. I looked at that for a second. But why did I dismiss it? I felt like the knight just comes here. And I still have a problem with this. Suppose I can bring the rook over. That really feels like I'm on the defensive there, and I don't like that. That's probably why I dismissed it. But white had another mistake in response. Should have attacked the knight, which I was kind of concerned about. Just in a very equal position here. White holds a slight edge because of his queenside pawns. And we're dead drawn here. And time pressure just got the best of him with this move, because that's a clear blunder. Giving up this square. All right. Sorry it's been a while. Thanks for coming to watch some chess. I'll post some more in the near future, hopefully. Enjoy.